Good afternoon. I've been asking every witness if they believe they can safely and responsibly testify without wearing a mask, that they should do so if they're comfortable with that.
I would prefer to keep mine on if that's okay.
That's fine.
Thank you very much.
Go right ahead.
Okay. Good afternoon. Could you please state your first and last name and spell both for the record?
I am Alex Gravatt, Alex Gravatt.
Mr. Gravatt, do you know somebody by the name of Chandler Halderson?
I do know Chandler Halderson.
And how do you know Mr. Halderson?
We were childhood friends and roommates.
Okay. I'd ask that you look around the courtroom. The judge will give instructions in just a second, and tell me whether or not you see Mr. Halderson.
And before the witness does so, would everybody not in the jury box lower their mask for a moment so that he can see everyone's faces? Thank you. You can replace your masks. Go ahead, sir.
Yes, I see Chandler Halderson.
Could you please identify him by perhaps where he's located and perhaps the color of his shirt?
He is wearing a black suit with a white shirt next to somebody wearing green.
All right. I'd ask the record to reflect that the witness has identified Mr. Halderson.
It shall.
Mr. Gravatt, did you ever go swimming in the Wisconsin River with Mr. Halderson?
Yes, a handful of times.
Okay. And where did you guys go? Could you describe the location?
We had two spots, one next to a local park in Saukville, and then one kind of down the road across a bridge, and we had to go into a cul-de-sac and then down a winding path through a little prairie to a beach.
And that second location you described, how many times do you think you went there with Mr. Halderson?
Me personally, 2 or 3. I know that they went, he and a few of my other friends went more times without me.
Was it your understanding that Mr. Halderson knew how to scuba dive?
Yes.
What did you know about his scuba diving?
Well, I knew in high school he was a diver, but then he loved to swim, and from my understanding, he joined the Madison police diving team for search and rescue missions. I know he'd gone a few times with them, to my knowledge, but I never went with him or dropped him off or saw anything too much.
Did he ever tell you about any of his search and rescue missions?
Yes, he told me a couple of times about getting caught in riptides, and one time he said that he saw a body while doing it, while scuba diving, and that he was a little weirded out by that.
Did he ever bring home any mementos or anything he found while scuba diving?
Yes, I know there was one time he brought home a large pink sex toy that he found, and then there was one time I believe he brought home like an old rusty looking knife.
And were these from his scuba diving missions with the Madison Police Department? Was that your understanding?
I believe so.
No further questions.
Any cross-examination?
No, thank you.
May this witness be excused and released.
Yes, Your Honor.
Thank you, sir. Have a
Thank
good
you.
remainder of your day.
You too.
Thank you. And the next witness.